Our INL connections. I guess there were they let us know there were a couple of meetings today, little webinars, little Zooms this past week about the transition, about all of the local workers got until June, mid-June, I think, to come back to the office, and remote workers have until January.
Wild to think of, huh?
Yeah. And I was like, now, is that part of the federal mandate? And he's like, well, for DOE workers, for Department of Energy workers, it is. But a lot of us are private contractors, that kind of thing. And I said, so how's it going? And I think his biggest question is, why? And the only answer he can think of is the one we gave last episode. It's a boomer thing.
Yeah.
The managers just want to have their people in the office.
It's so true. That's really all it is.
That's all it is.
So
as we understand it.
Yeah. So I actually have a friend who recently got to start doing hybrid work. So she has a couple of days where she works from home during the week. And I, reached out to her in the middle of the day, just thinking about her. And she was kind of talking to me about it. And she had done some laundry. She'd already finished 2 projects. She was talking about how much easier it was to focus on her work and actually get it done when she was at home, even with, doing the laundry in the background and stuff like that.
And that's sort of been a common complaint we're hearing a lot is I'm so much more productive from home, not only on my job, but also in my personal life.
Right.
We talked about a special kind of producing.
Right.
A couple
reproducing even.
But there's other complaints like they don't know where they're going to put these people still.
Sure.
So they don't know if they're going to have an office that looks over the river or they're going to be stuffed in a basement.
Yeah.
Parking is another big.
It's just going to be a nightmare.
Real world concern.
Well, especially where we don't really have that great of public transport. I mean, we've got the gift program, which is awesome. For folks who don't have a car.
And award winning,
but
as
also,
we found out from
if you do have a car, it doesn't really make as much sense to take gift.
The mayor in her speech. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they could increase it.
Sure.
Noobs, you'll see parking, lots around town, scattered around town, and you'll wonder, how come that's such a huge parking lot?
Right.
But if you drive by at 5 a.m, you'll see a bunch of site buses there, or at night, and people drive to the parking lot, hop on the site bus, take the bus out to the INL. That's what we've covered that too.
Yeah.
That's what we call the INL facility.
Yeah.
Out in the West Desert. Other concerns for local workers are, now I have to factor in the cost of childcare and the commute.
Right.
So my automobile gas bill just went up, and so did my childcare costs. What else?
Can I also talk about the mental labor that goes into going into the office?
Yeah.
Not only do you have to get up and get ready in the morning at a specific time so that you can be there on time versus, waking up slow, rolling out of bed. You don't really have to get ready because no one's going to see you. But let's also take a moment to think about the fact that when you're working from home, you can just fart whenever you feel like it.
Yeah.
And there's no one there to judge you.
You can do things on your own schedule.
Right. And you don't have to be subtle about it. You can be as disgusting as you want.
Yeah.
And you don't have to think about any of that. And
fart,
now all of a sudden,
and
pick your toes.
Yeah. And your nose.
Yeah. All kinds of other gross stuff. You can clip your nails at your desk and no one will be upset with you if you're at home versus if you're at the office.
But but you're right. And there are some coworkers who do that in the office. And they're disgusting people.
We hate them. Yeah.
They are garbage humans.
Right.
But sort of along the same line, a concern was brought up, what about sick days?
Right. Sick days and wardrobes too.
I bet sick days, wardrobes is one of them, but sick days are going to increase because, when you're sick, but you could still make it to the home office, you could still shuffle 10 feet that away in your bathrobe and get some work done versus got to get in the shower. Got to pretend that I'm human.
Yeah.
Got to double medicate. Got to blow my nose. And all that, got to get dressed.
Well, and not only
in
that,
real clothes.
But also if you're contagious.
Aha.
Yeah. There have been days when I've been sick and I've been contagious, but I felt fine. Like, I knew that if I went to work, I would get someone sick, but like, I could work. So if I could work from home, I could absolutely be productive versus if I have to go into the office, I'm not going to get anything done because I don't want to get everyone else sick.
Not a lot of people still are very happy about this. I think it's going to happen regardless, but the INL does have a logistical challenge at this point, creating the space for all these workers that they're going to bring back. Oh, let's talk about remote workers now. These are people who have homes that maybe they got for 3% interest, say 5 years ago, when the INL first started hiring remote workers that understood that they'd be able to work remotely forever.
Right.
So maybe had a shot at a 5-year job and didn't take that in favor of this one. And now they're just hosed.
Right.
If they want to continue working for the INL, got to sell their home, move here, buy a home at 7-8% interest. By the way, have we mentioned we're real estate agents?
Yeah. So if you are one of them and you would like to keep working at the INL, please give us a call. We'd be more than happy to help you.
Yeah, the market's great. It really is right now.
Right.
What's it going to be like in 6 months? You know, as the spring and summer seasons start heating up? We don't know. We can give you all the historical data. We can even make predictions, but it's dangerous to make predictions.
Right.
Isn't it? As we've found out before, prior to 2020.
Yep.
Anyway, so a lot of people that work remotely have the same kind of challenges in their lives as well.
And have you heard about some of the like rumors around the INL layoffs? So I saw quite a few posts on the Idaho Falls Reddit about it. A lot of people talking about things like, oh, if I do an internship there, will I get hired on? Are there going to be layoffs because of the, government cutbacks and stuff like that?
Oh, with Doge?
Yeah.
The Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk and his crew?
Yeah, which I will say it's hilarious that it's called Doge.
Not lost on us.
Yeah. So in the last week, I saw like 4 different posts talking about it. And it's not like there are a lot of posts on that subreddit anyway, because it is Idaho Falls after all. But I think it's kind of interesting because, like, for example, there was a guy who was asking, hey, if I become an intern, will I likely get a job there? And one of the guys said something like, it isn't super... Oh, sorry, the timing isn't super great. The INL is a bit of a dumpster fire at the moment. So I'm kind of wondering if he's in it and he's seeing some of the changes happening, both with the return to work and also with people, getting
I don't know why he would say that if he didn't have knowledge of that.
Right. That was kind of my question too. But yeah, there were a couple of really interesting comments through it. Like, let's see here.
Is it just me, or when it comes to employee retention, do you want to just be super careful about that when it comes to, I don't know, a nuclear facility?
Yeah, you'd think that would be kind of an important one. Now, one person did also point out that they are contractors, so they're not necessarily as susceptible to that as some other departments could be, like the National Park Service, for example. But there still seems to be a lot of people who are just really concerned about it and worried about how this is going to affect them. And especially with how many folks right here in town are here because of the INL, it kind of makes you wonder how that's going to change our social landscape a little. Well, and can I also talk a little bit about morale? Because as these people go back to the office and everyone who was already there gets cramped or like has to share their space or has to deal with the guy who forgot that he can't fart whenever he feels like.
Right. Or people who have gotten into a zone.
Yeah.
They've got their routine down. And to that, I temper that a little bit with the only constant is change.
Right.
Nothing is forever.
Sure.
That's cool. But there were people that were hoping it would be like this for 15, 20 years.
Till they could retire at least.
And it ain't gonna be.
Well, we'll keep you updated. That's all we can say for now, I guess.